Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce week 2 to you, which is June the 2nd through June the 8th. We're looking at negative and indefinite expressions, preterite, the imperfect and double object pronouns. So you're going to want to study pages 223 to 227, 234 to 240, and pages 254 to 257. You're also going to want to review pages 200 to 206, 216 to 219, and 230 to 233. Students should be able, at the end of this week, after completing all of your assignments, you should be able to identify when to use the preterite tense as well as how to form it. Using both regular and irregular verbs, you should be able to identify negative and indefinite words and expressions and know how to use them. You should be able to identify the differences between the preterite and imperfect tenses and know when to use each. You should be able to read 2 short texts and answer some questions on them, which demonstrate your ability to read and comprehend short passages in Spanish. You should be able to use the preterite tense, sports, and weather vocabulary to write a paragraph which describes what you did last summer. You should also know when to use the imperfect tense and how to correctly form it. You should also be able to distinguish between direct and indirect object pronouns. And all of these assignments address student learning outcomes 1, 2, 4, and 5. This week's assignments are due on the 6th. You want to start this week like all others by watching the instructor-made video. So you'll go into this book, you'll watch each of the videos. I know there's quite a few out there, but that's because we're in summer school, so we have to do more than one. Basically, like, you double up what you do during the year. So there'll be a lot of videos to watch each week. When you go into the class participation form, open it up, click on the thread, hit reply, and post any questions or concerns you have about the material covered in the videos. If you don't have any questions or concerns, which I don't expect you to always have questions or concerns, then just post that you don't have any, but you do have to post something. It is a grade and one that you cannot make up, so just make sure you do that. For assignment 3, you're going to visit My Language Labs, click on the alarm clock, and you're going to complete these SAM and Spanish Extra Practice activities. So this is a link that will take you there. If you click on that and sign in, it'll take you out to My Language Labs, which should look like this once you've signed in. Let me switch to your view. So to find the assignments, get rid of that, go up here to assignments, hit course calendar, and then this thing's kind of, well, now I'm gone. Okay, so then you want to, if you look here, this is May. We need to be in June. The assignments are due on the 6th. So if you'll click on the 6th, the assignments are going to pop up in the middle. Open up each assignment. And then you go through and do what it tells you to. Fill in whatever's missing. Remember, you've got an accent bar up here. And then when you're done, let's see if I can. You hit finish and submit for grading, and it'll tell you what your grade is. If you don't like it, you can do it again. You can do it as many times as you would like before the assignment's due date. But if you're doing it more than 3 times, I suggest reaching out to me. Okay. All right, let's go back over here. Okay, you also have a reading comprehension quiz. So if you click on that, you'll see 2 passages, one on the history of baseball in the Caribbean and another on reggaeton. When you're ready, you hit attempt quiz now. You only get 1 attempt, and you'll notice that you have 3 hours, which is more than enough time to complete this. I just gave you guys extra. So there's the passages again. You can read them again. And at the bottom, you're going to see some short answer questions, and some true false. Just go ahead and mark your true falses and fill in the blank with your short, how would best complete the short answer questions. And then when you're done, again, you hit finish attempt, and it'll come to me, and I will grade it. Okay. Okay. And you also have writing assignment 1. This is your first writing assignment. We're going to workshop it. So you'll click on the writing assignment. It's in the submission phase. and it'll tell you El verano pasado. For your latest blog post, you have decided to write a narrative of what you did last summer. Write a paragraph of no fewer than 10 sentences. Be as detailed as possible and use the following ideas as a guide. The activities you did when it was hot, sunny, or cool, the things or equipment you needed to do these activities, any sports you played and the equipment you used, the places you went and the people you visited, where you worked or the classes you took. So you'll write all of that. When you're ready, you'll hit start preparing your submission and you'll write all of that here, and then you'll hit save changes. And then next week, you'll see the workshop show up again, only this time you won't be able to see your own submission. You're going to see a fellow classmate's submission, and you will be critiquing it as well as I'm going to go. Someone else will be critiquing your assignment as well as I will go through and critique it. And then what you will do the following week is take those, you'll see the workshop again, you'll be able to open it and you'll be able to see the critiques that were given to you, and you use that to write your final draft. And that's what's happening with Oral Dialogue 1. You did the workshop last week. You'll see a little thing like this that says Oral Dialogue 1. It'll actually be here, but because I'm doing this video in advance, it's still in the week above. When you open it up this time, last week you wrote your script. This time you're critiquing someone's script as well as I'm going to critique it. Okay, and then next week you'll see it again and you'll be able to get to those critiques and you'll use those critiques to actually make your recording. But we're also going to get ready for oral because we move fast in summer school, so we've got to get ready for your second oral dialogue. So you're going to workshop this one. If you open it up, it tells you for your oral dialogue, it should say 2 instead of 1, but you have decided to talk about your childhood. Prepare for the recording by writing a script in which you describe in Spanish what you were like as a child. Be as detailed as possible and use the following information as a guide. A physical description of yourself, some aspects of your personality, what activities or sports you used to do, with whom you used to spend time, where you used to live, and what your room was like, big, small, messy, organized. So when you're ready, you hit that start preparing submission, and you'll paste in here in Spanish what you plan to say. Next week, you'll be critiquing your friend, our fellow classmates, as well as a fellow classmate will be critiquing you. I will also be doing the critique, and then the week after next is when you'll see those critiques and use that critiqued information to actually make your recording. All right, you also have your first test, which is on Chapter 7. You've got 3 hours in which to complete it in one attempt, so don't open it until you're ready. Whoops. Okay, so in this it says complete the following sentences by choosing the appropriate verb. Here we're dealing with the preterite tense, so you've got 2 verbs and 2 forms of each verb. Pick the one that makes most sense to complete the sentence, and you're going to have a few that are like that. I'll keep scrolling down. Then we have completar la frase. Here we're using our indefinite negative expressions. So you'll read through the sentence and decide which indefinite or negative expression best completes it and select that one. And you've got quite a few of those. ¿Cuál es el verbo correcto? This is like the one up above. You're reading a sentence and you're deciding which verb would best complete the sentence. You've got 2 verbs in 2 different formats. Sorry, not in 2 different formats, but conjugated for 2 different subjects. Pick the one that best completes the sentence. And you've got quite a few of those. Más verbos irregulares, so still more work with your verbs in the preterite tense. So complete the following sentences with a logical verb from the word bank in the preterite tense. So you pick the word that would best complete the sentence and then conjugate it into the preterite tense. Here is ayer a la universidad. Listen to the paragraph. So you'll click this button. I'm not sure if it will play while I'm doing the recording, but yeah, I think it won't work. But it should work for you. So you'll click that button and it will play, and then you'll decide if the statements below are true, false, or not mentioned based on what you've heard. Okay, then un día, la semana pasada, Felipe, an international student from the Dominican Republic, is telling you about what happened one day last week. Complete each sentence with the correct preterite form of the logical verb. So you've got 2 choices. Pick the verb that makes the most sense and conjugate it into the preterite tense. Los objetos, your little brother likes to repeat everything you say. Complete a sentence by filling in the blanks with the correct double object pronouns. So in each of the sentences above, you have a direct object and an indirect object pronoun. You're going to replace both of those with an indirect and a direct object pronoun and plug them into the sentence. So you should have two words here in each blank. Here, fill in the blank with the correct response to each question. So again, you're dealing with double object pronouns. read the questions below, and then write out the statements that would be the best response. Es horrible estar aburrido. What do you do when you are bored? Do you lie on the sofa all day and watch TV? Read the following advice on what to do about boredom. Complete the paragraph with the correct words from the word bank. No word is repeated. So you're filling in the paragraph, the missing pieces with indefinite and negative expressions. Pero, sino que. Complete the following sentences using pero, sino, or sino que according to the context. So read the sentence and then plug in pero, sino que. Here, ¿qué es esto? Do you know the vocabulary that talks about pastimes? Use the descriptions, provide, fill in the blanks with the correct vocabulary word. Don't forget to include the correct definite article. So the definite article has already been given, so make sure that you use it when you fill it in. When you read the definition, you fill in the word that would best complete that the definition is describing. Make sure that you also include the article. So that la goes with discoteca. Fill in the blanks with the verbs from the list in the correct preterite tense. So just look at those verbs, decide which one would best complete the sentence, and then conjugate it into the preterite tense. Los deportes, la universidad. Alicia and Raúl are two international students at your university. They're discussing the sports they like and normally play. Complete their conversation by filling in the blanks with the correct words from the word bank. So you'll just read through the paragraph and fill in the words from the word bank that would make the most sense. And that's everything you have to do on this test, and everything you have to do for week 2.